All right, with that being said, then, we're going to jump into the show this morning, and we're going to welcome in studio, Mark Hansen is with us. Mark, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, you are with the Heritage Christian School in Carlston.
That is right, I am.
For quite some time, I think, haven't you? You've been with them for a while.
They're very patient people. They have been putting up with me since the fall of 1998.
Wow, so you've been there a while.
I have, and my partner in crime was on hold, I guess. He was.
Yep, we should have Rob Mickelson on the line with us. Rob, are you there?
Yes. Yeah, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm really good. Really good.
And Rob, of course, is do we call him the brains behind the project? I mean, he does a lot of the technical stuff, right?
He calls himself the brains.
Does he call him?
No, he is quite talented.
I've heard that about this young man. Yeah. He's very talented.
I hate to admit it.
We're going to be talking today about Hope's Reward. And I don't know, Mark, do you want to kind of set this up a little bit on how this all got started?
Well, sure. So we've been making, fun movies and stuff at Heritage for probably 2007. I would say we started doing things and having a dinner theater at the school. It was just a lot of fun, and it raised some money for the school. And then we started taking a little bit more serious, putting a little bit more effort into it. I forget which year we made Space Trek. I think could have been 2010, and that had 7 sets, but that had the replication of the main bridge of the Enterprise. And this was kind of like that we portrayed it as we stole the idea or they stole our idea and later made the 1960s Star Trek. So we had all of that beforehand. It was just a lot of fun. It took a lot of work, but really got into it. And then I think after that, in 2011, we made Horace Frisley's Big Day, and that was a little bigger, more successful film. Then in 2012, we made Mayberry Dreams, which was a tribute movie to the Andy Griffith Show. And we were privileged to have 2 of the still alive Andy Griffith Show actors come up and join us for the premiere of the movie. And we had the nation's #1 Barney Fife impersonator come to join us in Wisconsin, where we were filming at a bed and breakfast that had replicated a lot of the Andy Griffith Show sets. So that was a lot of fun. Then we didn't do anything for quite a while till COVID. In 2020, they canceled our Christmas program due to COVID. So we made a film called A Merry COVID Christmas. It was smaller, about a half an hour or so. And that was a lot of fun. And that's the last thing that we've done until this one. One day at school, one of our bright young students came up. Her name is Julia Mickelson. And she said, "Hey, my dad, he's interested in maybe doing another movie." And I said, "Wow, that would be awesome, because I love working with Rob." And so we started meeting and talking about ideas, and kind of from there we developed an idea to do a movie about a small Christian school, because that's what we are. That there's a number of parallels between the real-life Heritage Christian School and the make-believe Peace, Hope, and Love Christian Academy. But it, of course, would be a comedy. And we decided to invite everyone in the school that wanted to be in the movie. And we lassoed in a dozen or more adults from outside. And I think this is the best thing that we've done. I'm getting older. Yeah. Maybe my last movie, I don't know. But we're going to go out with a bang and have a lot of fun. And it's got more comedy than anything we've done before, I think, and a stronger faith-based message of faith and hope in a fun way. And yeah, I've really enjoyed the process.
Okay, Rob, let's bring you in on the mix here, and you obviously we heard from one of your kids that you wanted to get involved. What made you want to start to bring this back? I know you've been working with video for a while, audio and video, right?
Yeah, I've worked with video since in 2006. I bought a video camera, and my friend from up here, Josh Olson, and I started doing videos for churches and youth groups and editing together stuff. And then I transitioned into that for my main job at Central Boiler currently. And then Josh Olson and I is my co-star in Hope's Reward. We're a couple of the bad guys. And so this whole thing has been a really fun trip. When Mr. Hansen, Mark Hansen, started as principal, I was a junior or senior. I can't remember. Sophomore or junior, I forget. I was at Heritage as a student, and then I ended up coming back there and teaching for a couple of years, so he was my boss. And now we're co-collaborators on these movies, and it's just been so fun. Mm-hmm. So my kids had seen Horace Frizzly's Big Day because I had a DVD and we watched that. And my oldest was just asking if we could please do something like that, and I said, "Yeah, this could be the year. This could be the year." And so it was just one of the highlights of 3 of my kids were in it, and to do it with family. And then I love the Heritage School. All the families there. There's so much excitement. All the kids get excited when they see the lights and the microphones, and it's just a lot of fun to be a part of.
So, Rob, who wrote this?
Mark, okay. Mr. Hansen is the writer.
So he's the writer.
Yeah, I told him I would do this if he wrote it because I've worked with him. This is our 3rd collaboration, and I love his writing style. It's just classic comedy, and so we work together really well.
Okay, so Mark, you how long did it take to write and put this together?
Oh, it took a few meetings to come up with the idea. We kicked around a different bunch of ideas, finally settled on the idea of a small Christian school that needed to raise money because in our actual school, we have to replace our roof. It's going to be about a $30,000 job trying to put metal on. So what if that happened in a make-believe school and then it interfered with the kids' hopes for new playground equipment for the elementary and for the high school to go on a mission trip? Well, in real life, our high school does want to go on a mission trip, and the school board, due to this anticipated expense, has said that go for it, but we don't have any extra funds to subsidize you. So that's right in the movie.
So it almost helped write itself then, huh?
Well, yeah, I think drawing on real-life experiences is a very common thing for writers. You think of real-life things, and I always like watching behind the scenes. If a movie comes out and they've got a special features in the back where it says the making of it, that's where I want to go. And what was the thought process behind it? So, my wife and I sometimes would watch just a little clips on YouTube. There was a comedy years ago called Everybody Loves Raymond. And the inspiration for the writing, they drew from real-life experiences from everybody. And then they would come up with an episode based on something that they had experienced. So that was some of it. We thought we know about small Christian schools. We know about the budgets, and we know about what the kids want to do and they want to have. And I met with Rob a few times, and we kind of came up with that idea. And then I would sketch out, well, if we did that, this could be, maybe for the high school, they could try some of the traditional fundraisers, but they would go terribly wrong comically. So then we thought of 5 scenes for that and trimmed it down to 3 or 4. And then for the younger kids, well, they want to try to raise money for their new playground equipment. What could they do? And then that kind of morphed into, well, if you have these 2 idiot robbers come into town and they're a nuisance and robbing all the silly stuff, and there's a reward for them, maybe it could kind of like be Home Alone. And then the kids outwit the robbers and set booby traps in a house and capture them. They'd get the reward. And for the high schoolers, we thought, well, it can't be the same thing. So we have an eccentric older lady. I say that tongue-in-cheek because Margot Solfit plays that role. And she makes a big deal that we were looking for an older lady, and we thought of her. But she looks very young. But she plays to perfection that, and her husband has comically passed away. It's all in the movie. And she just lives with her beloved cat, Mittens, which is the whole world to her. But Mittens has gone missing. She thinks maybe stolen. So she offers a $10,000 reward. So the high schoolers, after they've kind of bombed out on the car wash and trying to mow lawns to make money, That didn't work at all. Mm-hmm. And leaf raking, and so they wind up they're gonna find this cat, and that's how they're gonna raise their money. So that kind of sets the whole journey. But they are told they don't have the money to do it, the board. But if you can think of a way, and these children have a childlike faith. It's one of the things we teach at Heritage is that God is real. He hears prayers. He answers prayers, and you need to believe that and apply that. So in the movie, the elementary students pick up on this thought that, yeah, if God is in this, he can help us. And we can do what the school board can't even, be unusual. So they have this simple faith, and then they latch onto that, and it becomes a real hope for them. Just like in the biblical idea of hope, it doesn't mean that we have no idea, we just wish it, but that it's something real like the second coming of the Lord and the resurrection. It's a real assurance and a hope that we have now. It just hasn't happened yet, but we know that it will. And then hope gives, same for all of us when we believe and we trust, the benefit, the fruit of that faith and that hope is the answered prayer, the reward, the miracle.
And the production is called Hope's Reward. Rob, back to you now a little bit. Okay, so you got the whole writing here. Mark took care of that. Where do you start in the production? How do you got to line up the people, then you got to line up your equipment to know what you're going to do, when you're going to do. Break that down a little bit for us.
Yeah, Mark and I worked pretty hand in hand from day one. We kind of just set aside September and October, and we said, all right, so we have a deadline here. We got 2 months. And so from the beginning, I was in those early meetings. I remember our early ideas. I had pitched one that my kids had of doing a superhero movie, and what if kids had funny superpowers, and then it kind of morphed into, the part we kept was, what if kids fight bad guys? And that it's just cool to see how ideas transform as we discuss. And then after we got kind of the loose outline, the bones of it all, and Mark was doing some of the writing, then we started planning locations, and we shot in Roseau and different areas of Carlstead, and then somebody with a house that was being renovated let us shoot in their house for a few weeks, which turned out to be just what we needed for the climactic scenes, and so it's cool that just how many people come together to get that lined up, and then a lot of it was Mark writing and us shooting before the whole thing was written. I mean, the last scene would be written a few days before we'd shoot it, and so he'd flesh out one scene, and then the next day we'd find the people and do it, and there were obviously with kids and families involved and all these people, there's a lot of permission slips to go out and a lot of coordinating schedules, and then so and so can't come, so you rewrite something, and so it's an adventure, and it was a whirlwind of 2 months. It flew by. But I'm really proud of how it all turned out. Well,
dealing with kid actors as compared to adults, are they easier to work with or tougher to work with?
Oh, I don't know, Mark. You want to take that one?
Well, there's pros and cons. Really, there's the two very talented actors. I mean, the ones that have a lot of experience are Rob and Josh. Because these guys have had Rob and Josh as comedic overload for how many years? They've even played some roles in some of the Heritage plays that we've done, and these guys can act. And so when you're writing your own script, you play to the strengths, and physical comedy, kind of in the tradition almost of a Laurel and Hardy or something like that. And so that was kind of a natural. But for the kids, they can do things that adults can't. I mean, they can be 7 years old and say lines cutely. And I'm sorry.
Without difficulty. That's right. Yeah.
Rob can't do that.
Yeah.
So you kind of play to the strengths.
The kids have a lot of energy, too. The younger classes, there was a notable difference. The younger classes just loved being around, loved being part of it, begging to be in different parts. And the older kids, it helped when some scenes came together and we got some of the early drafts edited together, and once they saw those, then they got excited to see what this was turning into, and so then we had a lot more excitement coming from the older kids, and so everybody was on board, and it's just a lot of fun being around people that want to do it, You know?
Was there
Kind of like community theater.
yeah, that's where we saw Rob on the stage on community theater, by the way, in Middle River many years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of community theater, and we just did it to a movie. But it's a lot of the same pleasantries that you get with community theater, getting to know your neighbors better and all that kind of thing.
And I should say we had a lot of community support. Some of the different places that we filmed, the Carlson Corner gas station let us film outside there. It made it a little as customers came in. You got the cameras and everything and the people there, but they let us do that. The Kinston County Sheriff's Department is awesome. And so one of the actors of Heritage Dad was a real-life deputy. So he had the uniform and everything real.
Past, yeah.
And they let us use a vehicle, so it's the real thing in the movie. It's when they didn't need it, and only Austin Porter drove it or anything like that. But they just thought it would be great and chipped in. And then a number of, people around town, some of the town notables and adults said, we'd think of a role and, who would be good for this? And just most of the people, if they could do it, they chipped in and they all had fun. And so it was just kind of a joy making it. And Rob's right, when we do some of the earlier scenes, no one else has the big picture in mind. They don't understand the story, really. But when they see a scene and how much fun it was to shoot it and how good, with Rob's filming and editing abilities really getting good, then it kind of generated some, wow, this is really something. This is kind of exciting, kind of cool. So then that would inspire everyone. Let's go all out. Let's do the very best that we can.
Did you have to do, Rob, a lot of retakes, or did a lot of them get it right on the first try?
Not very many were just one take.
Okay.
and nor, we were kind of shooting it when it's written that early. A lot of it is, here's your line, we're going to shoot you in 10 minutes. And so they're trying to get it down. And like Mark said, they don't know the big picture of it all. And so they're trusting us to direct them, and Mark would kind of give them the cadence of what we're going for. And so that also is what generated the buzz, because if you do 10 takes, you can leave feeling pretty defeated. But then when 9 of those get deleted and you see the final cut and you don't look stupid, it's pretty great.
I should tell him, Rob,
and I'm speaking from experience.
Working with Rob, so in one of the high school scenes, they're going to try raising money to car wash. And Heritage has done that for real in the years past. So this was an idea, but again, every fundraiser the high school tries before they settle on finding this missing cat just goes awry. So for the car wash, one of the scenes was that the kids are so excited, they finally get a customer, and a guy comes in with a convertible. Well, they water is spraying all over, and he gets the whole inside of his car wet. So I used our car, just shot so you can't see the top, for that scene. And I said, well, I'm willing to, I'll be from the opposite side. I'll spray water into the interior of my car to the other door. So when you open the door without the top being filmed, so you can see it's not a convertible, all the water will be dripping off the door. But I'm getting the inside of my car soaked. So we did that and shot it, and Rob says, I don't know if I got the sound on. And so we have to do it again. So I go back to doing it again, and I think I forgot to push record, and everyone was laughing. How many takes, Rob, did I soak the interior of my car for that
I think
shot?
the fifth one we finally said it was a keeper, and we used the fourth one.
The fourth one? Okay, so, yeah.
Yep.
I think he kind of did that on purpose a little bit.
Everybody was enjoying that one, yeah.
How long is this movie, by the way?
The runtime is 58 minutes. It's about an hour.
Okay, so about close to an hour.
Yep.
And before we talk more, I should mention this is going to be shown at Fall Cinema, correct?
Yeah, Saturday, 10 a.m.
This coming Saturday?
Right, it is. You have to get your tickets by either going online. You can look up Heritage Christian School, Carlston, Minnesota, and it'll take you to heritagepatriots.org, and there's the trailer of the movie, and you can click on the button to obtain your tickets. You need a credit card or a debit card, and the tickets are $15, which includes, I think pop and popcorn at least.
Yeah, medium popcorn. Yep.
And
or for the kids, I believe it includes the whole kids pack. Yeah, we should emphasize that these tickets. So we're working with the theater, and they're letting us use the space, and we're working with them for all of it. But the ticketing is not done through the theater app like their normal movies are. All the tickets are sold through heritagepatriots.org, so you have to go there to get your tickets.
Or you could call the school, and get a ticket, but you'd have to pay the school, and then the school would go online and get your ticket. So all the tickets wind up being coming through the online.
Okay.
Through Heritage, yeah.
Okay, and again, one showing, 10 a.m. this Saturday, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. We want to continue our conversation here in just a moment. We've got to take a break, so if you guys, can you hang on here for just a few moments?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to be right back with Mark Hansen and Rob Mickelson in just a few moments. Hope's Reward. The kids helped put this production together. It's professionally done. It is a movie that's going to play this coming weekend, and we're going to talk more about it. And if you have any questions, you can text them, 681-1230, 681-1230. Just text them on our Pizza Hut text line, and we'll be happy to address those questions for you. Visiting with Mark Hansen, school administrator at the Christian Heritage School up in Carlston, and Rob Mickelson, who his day job is at Central Boiler, but his off hours is doing video work, camera work. And I don't know, Rob, is this going to bring you to bigger and better things with film, or what?
I don't know. I really enjoy my video work here at Central Boiler and Altos and Woodmaster. They were kind enough to let me kind of moonlight this project for 2 months, and it was a blur, And I got kids at home and family, so this was kind of like Mark said, for him it might be his swan song, and I don't want to say it was the last thing I'd ever do, but it was taxing, and it was a lot of fun. But I'm going to take a year or two off of doing that kind of stuff, I think.
Well, you could direct plays. I think somebody's asked you to do that before here, haven't they?
I have heard about that, yeah. Yep, it is fun. I love being around all the theater stuff. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Now, Mark, is this something you want to continue to do? I know you've had it in the past. You took a few years off. You bring it back again. What's the main goal for the Heritage School to have these productions like this?
Well, the students are a driving force behind it. We've been very active in drama. We have competed quite extensively in one-act play competitions and won a lot of them. Last couple of years in a row, we've had even command performances at the student convention. So drama has been a lot of fun. We have also put on pretty significant Christmas plays with multiple sets and even bringing in other people besides the students for some roles. And so the kids have really liked drama. And I keep getting asked, when are we going to make another movie? What about me? My older sister or brother, they were in Horace Frizzly's Big Day. When are we going to do that again? Or what about me, kind of a thing.
So kids are excited about it.
Yes, but you have to have someone like Rob to come along who has the skills and the ability. I should mention, too, that Rob also collaborated a lot on the script. There would be some scenes that he came up with, and so he's a modest man, but he did a lot of, thoughts of some of the scenes and wrote some of them. So he's a writer as well, but he kind of all says that I'm doing all of it. And in the very early days, I ran the camera, and I didn't do much of that in this film. Very little. Oh,
speaking of which, now I saw the trailer, Rob, and I know you're also acting in this. So when you're acting, who's running the camera? Did you have some other help then?
Yeah. Mark did run the camera for some of those scenes I was in. Sometimes it was just tripod shots, kind of like the old days, nimble production. And a couple times we had a kid run it, and that's always a lot of fun. And several times I would get the kids behind the camera. Some of the ones that aren't all that interested in being on camera still like to be around it. And so a few of them I gave opportunities they hold the boom mic or they'll run the camera a little bit, and they really light up. So that's fun to see too.
So it's kind of a learning experience for the kids too, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been happy that we could provide. We're a small Christian school, so we don't have any funding from the government or anything like that. So what can you do at a small Christian school? I mean, you can't have the big programs and all of that. Well, this is something that we can do that you probably wouldn't find very commonly. And you just have to have the right people there. But with Rob and I think this is something we both enjoyed, and our students get the opportunity to do something that not everybody does. And it kind of is a life lesson, too, because who would say that a teeny little school could make a movie that would actually be any good, kind of thing. But I do believe that if you have a thought and the Lord is behind it, you can do something special. And, you've been an actor yourself and different things, and you know that drama can be a very enjoyable thing. It can convey a message. You can have comedies and dramas, and we make a lot of dramedies. But this is a comedy with a great spiritual message. So it's just fun to do. It's a great experience for the kids. Some of the kids that started all shy or new students came out of their shells completely, and they were having so much fun and laughing and, whoa, what about if we did this? And they'd come up with this idea or that idea. So it's a great experience for them and a big life lesson along the way.
Rob, what was the most challenging, do you think, working with these kids and putting this production together?
Maybe near the end when it started getting dark a little earlier, and we were always working on sports schedules and stuff too. And so to keep the positive attitude when you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you're just trying to get the shots. Because I should have counted the shots before this, but it had to be over 1,000 shots in the movie, and you're just trying to grind them out, after a certain point. So to keep the passion alive and to keep the excitement there with the kids and to not get short with people or short with myself when things weren't working right, that was probably the most challenging. But all that took was just stepping back and reminding myself of what it was for. Like the point of it was to have fun creating something together, and so that didn't happen very often. It was overall a really good experience. The other thing I had going into this one was 10 years ago. It was 10 years since we did the Horace Frizzly's Big Day, and some of the kids that were in that one are now out of college and have their jobs, and they'll still come home for the holidays and they'll pop in the DVD of Horace Frizzly's Big Day. It turns into a keepsake family memory kind of thing, and so I kind of had that in mind making this one, that we're making something that for all these people that are a part of it, it'll likely be something they remember for a very long time. Yeah. So that was really cool too.
No doubt about that. People, like as you get older, you don't realize it as a kid, but when you get older, you pull back the memories, and even though if you say, oh, I didn't have any fun in school, the school was boring, but when you get older, you look back and go, oh yeah, I remember this and I remember this. And now you've got it on file with
the alumni talk about all of the fun we've had in drama. I should say that there is a little throwback scene to Horace Frizzly's Big Day, because in this movie, Horace, who was kind of a nerdy, genius, techie guy, is now married to the girl he was sweet for in Horace Frizzly's Big Day, and they live in a mansion. There was a very kind couple who have a beautiful house in Roseville that let us use it. And they step back into their characters again. Now years later, and they have a child. And we just had so much fun. And they were the ones that their regular lawn mowing guy was out for a while, and so they put up an ad for lawn mowing needed. And that was one of the went terribly wrong fundraisers. But it's a funny little thing that happened. We made up this poster, lawn mowing needed, lawn mowing help needed, and call the Frizzlies, and we gave the phone number. And when we filmed that outside the Carlson Corner gas station as a poster in the window, I forgot it there. It was there for days. I can't imagine how many people were calling this fictitious number to talk to the Frizzlies about coming and mowing their lawn. So it was just lots of fun, lots of laugh from beginning to end.
What, Mark, the main goal of this, is this part of a fundraiser? Was this just part of...
Well, it does have that aspect. It's multifaceted in its goals, I guess. One of them, we had the goal of making a movie before we realized that our roof was going bad with very little insurance money left. And let's go metal this time. And so, all of the proceeds from the movies, if it makes money, does go to Heritage Christian School. So it's it does have the fundraising aspect to it. But whether there was a financial need or not, it's a great experience for everybody involved. For some of the students, it can be life-changing. We've got one alumni who then went on into studying drama and wanted to do that. We've got one student that's in the movie who would like to do this for a vocation when they graduate down the road. So, like in high school, they'll say everyone's got to get up and give a speech at some time. We just need to be able to do that or sing a song or something. But when the kids are part of a production and working together and learning something new and having fun and striving to do it with excellence, it's a great experience for them. So part of it was kind of responding to the many requests of the kids, when are we going to make another movie? And then part of it was that this can be something that can bless a lot of people and maybe raise some money for the school as well. We are going to have, we realize not everyone's going to be able to come to the theater. It will also be presented on Friday night, December 13th at Heritage Christian School. Only there in the gym, the screen is smaller, the sound isn't as good, and it's not a movie theater. Mm-hmm. But people can come and see it there, and we're also going to have, you can obtain the movie in a DVD format if people are interested in getting a copy of the movie. And we've even got for the kids, these posters are autograph posters. So the kids can get the full experience. We'll have the table set up. They'll have their Sharpie markers. And people they get their movie poster, can get the autographs of the favorite kids. And that makes them feel
pretty
good,
important, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a wonderful experience. It's I think it bolsters our drama department for when we go now into our season of one-act plays and dramatic dialogues and dramatic monologues and famous speeches and, the different speech competitions that our school competes in a student convention. The more that they're involved with drama, even in a movie setting, just the more that it helps them. So it has many benefits, and it had many inspirations behind it and more than one purpose for it. We do hope that it raises some money for the school. Just myself, I'm one of 10 children. Of course, all of my, I was 10, we all have to get a copy of the movie, the DVD, and then I've got a bunch of cousins. So it'll be hundreds of dollars just from my family that will come. But I think if people see it and laugh their way through it, they'll say, you mean this little tiny Christian school and no actors and not much of a budget, they did this? So we're hoping it'll be just a fun thing. And it's Christmas season. This would be a wonderful gift to send to somebody. If someone watches a movie and really enjoys it, maybe they value the spiritual message about faith. Maybe it's just all of the laughs. Maybe it's the novelty of it. But we're hoping that people will maybe want to pick up a copy of the DVD. And Rob, you know that there's going to be, and I see Rob's our tech guy. Mm-hmm. There's another way of obtaining it, I think, through YouTube, which I don't know all about. But
yeah,
Rob
we
does.
are working. We will have it available for digital purchase. And so with a donation to the school, I don't want to say the price. I don't know if it's settled yet. Mark can say the price if we know. I don't know. But you can buy it digitally, too, and we'll give you access to the private YouTube. So then whichever email address you give us, that'll be associated with that video, and you'll be able to watch it whatever you want. Stream it that way. I know I have some family down in southern Minnesota that is asking about, is it on YouTube? Is it on YouTube? And I say, yep, it'll be released, and you can get it that way. So with the roof project coming up, it kind of, as the project developed through September and we started to see that this was building momentum, we decided it was worth looking into how we can promote this more. That's why we're talking to you right now, and that's why we have the movie theater option and DVD option and the digital option. It was a very special time for everybody, but we also are hoping it will help support what the school has going on.
Okay. It's called Hope's Reward, and the first showing for anybody who wants to see it this Saturday, the 7th, this Saturday, 10 a.m. at Falls Cinema. And again, Mark, for tickets for this Saturday at Falls Cinema, how do they go about getting tickets?
They can go online to heritagepatriots.org. They can call Heritage Christian School and get some assistance, that's 218-436-2144, and the school can help them obtain their tickets that way. And if they come to the school on the 13th showing, it's just on a free will offering basis. But I think that the theatrical experience of being in a real movie theater, seeing it on the big screen, that's the best sound. That's the way to go. We've got 160 seats, and a lot of even the student families haven't secured their tickets yet. I think we've sold about 60 so far. It would be wonderful to sell it out. That would be great, but whatever it comes, we just thank the Lord for the opportunity to be part of a special project like this, to see the impact it made in the students' lives, their experience of being part of it. Has been a great reward just in itself. And whatever money it makes for the school, that'll go toward the roof, and that'll all help because we don't want our students getting wet.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, you know what that means for you, Mark. Rob, how about you? What did all this mean for you personally?
Well, personally, to be able to do this with 3 of my kids, and then my wife had a halfway major role too. So
fantastic at it. Fantastic.
Yeah, she plays a news reporter, and we might have found her second calling.
I think she can be it for real.
And so that was just great, getting to know my kids' friends, just being around and being able to bring that kind of positive energy to the class. Now when I show up at school to pick up my kids, I get a lot of, hey, Mr. Mickelsons, or hey, Rob, and so I think the special part to me was just kind of getting to know this generation of the students there.
Rob even used a drone for some of the footage.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of new to do that. Was very, very special. And the enthusiasm from all the adults that were in it, because there's a bunch of them, just all added to it. And I think some of the funnest parts for me was thinking of the booby traps. Because I've seen the movie Home Alone, and you can't just do exactly what they did. But
no,
we thought up some pretty fun ones, and then filming it, and then with the magic that Rob does with the editing, to see it come off pretty good. We filmed that first. We filmed Rob and Josh falling for all the booby traps, and then we filmed the kids setting up all the booby traps. But when you edit it together and see the finished product, and it kind of comes alive, then it's so much fun. But a lot of work.
That was a nail biter there, because we had to shoot it 2 weeks apart.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of worried about getting haircuts and stuff.
And everyone had to remember what they wore.
The
same clothes. And we worked.
You can watch it. Keep your eye out. I'm sure you'll find some inconsistencies if you
worked a little bit with animals. There were some animals in the movie, and some of them were more cooperative than others.
For sure.
So there's some deleted scenes that didn't make it of them. The kids looking around town for Mittens the cat, going behind a building, and then you hear a dog barking. They come flying out with a dog chasing them. The dogs did not cooperate like we wanted to. So, you always have deleted scenes.
Yeah, animal actors are always tough to work with.
I know.
That's right. But they're cheap.
But they work. Yeah, they work for biscuits, so that's so good.
Yeah.
All right. Rob, before I let you go, anything else that you want to bring up for the folks?
No, it'd be great to see everybody out on Saturday, and I really think anybody who comes, especially if you know somebody, but even if you don't, you'll really enjoy it. If you're my age and you grew up with Christian content, I've heard it compared to McGee and Me meets Home Alone, and so it's a fun Christian message with a lot of laughs in it too. So I hope to see you out there.
Awesome. We want people to think Christmas. This will be a great Christmas gift. And I should mention our Christmas program is going to be on Friday, December 6th, Friday night at Heritage, and then the next morning we show the movie. So the movie is wrapped up very much in the Christmas season. We certainly encourage people to come out, and we got a great Christmas program there Friday night on the 6th, but then the movie showing on the 7th, and then on the 13th. I wish, Rob, now we would have thought of Mark Allan for a part in the movie. I think that would have...
No kidding.
No kidding. I think you guys did fine. I saw the trailer, and it looks good. It looks good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right, Rob, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck in your future productions, too.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Okay, bye-bye. All right, and Mark, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it as well. So, and best of luck in any other fundraisers that you may do for the roof too. So.
Right. Appreciate it.
And if anybody wants to help out and you can't see the movie, but you want to help on the roof, they could always just send a donation,
Contact the
right?
school. Yep.
Yeah, contact the school. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.